Hi, my name is Del and welcome to Golf It, a Walk in the Woods, holes 1 through 9. This is for week 3 of level development. I've been getting a lot more of an actual scope on the project. Got a lot more ideas of what I can actually do with it, and therefore I'm able to kind of plan things out a lot better. But yeah, this is holes 1 through 9. I actually got to the bridge this time, which has been like the whole thing we're leading up to. And I did, like I said last week, change a couple things around that I would like to show off real quick. So, hole 1. Why is that showing up? Hold on. Let's get set here. Hold on. There we go. Alright. So, hole 1 now has this little clover here instead to kind of show off what you can do. And again, not a full hole-in-one, only a chance to do it. Kind of spits you out in a random direction. I don't want it too overpowered, but honestly I might change that to where it actually helps. But it still leaves that chance there. Hole 2 has a lot clearer of a pathing, kind of showing you where you're going to be going. And of course I use the clovers there as well to kind of show where you can go. Kind of a hint towards getting hole 1. And then hole 3, again, nothing has changed this week just yet. That'll be worked on next. Hole 4 is going to be like this little mountainous terrain kind of area. Of course with the clover showing off where you can actually go right here. And then hole 4 was the introduction of how objects are going to be used. So this is the first of the 3 holes that utilize objects. So this one shows off, if you have good enough timing, that you can get up there. I give up. Okay, anyway. So that's hole 6. But hole 7 is a lot more in depth with how the objects are going to work. So this one, we actually make sure that everything is gameplay. Yeah, okay. So hole 7. First, you have like little where you actually enter the level right here. And then you have a couple of spinning objects you want to make your way past. Of course, you're probably going to hit a couple. This one has the no holds barred on, where it actually, you can fall off. The first hole shows you without letting you fall off, but this one is all about falling off. You go over here, that's where the wood's all chopped in half. I want to kind of avoid that. Oh, weird. That does like a slow motion thing. And then, of course, you got a couple of spinning objects right here. I'm going to add a couple of wood choppers right there. I had to go a little bit heavier on the art side of this one, just to give me more of a clearer vision of how I wanted the level to play out. Then you got a couple more spinning objects right here. You got this one, kind of scary. You can fall off the side, and make sure you can't fall off that side. Just to give a little bit of safety. There we go. And then right there. Got a kind of a little fun little play pit right here. If you want to hit as hard as you can, you'll probably go flying, but so don't do that. But if you would like to, there is also, you could do that right there, and that'll put you all the way up in here, and boom, if you hit the perfect shot, or you can also go right here. This one's a little bit more difficult to get, especially because I'm not a fantastic shot. But you can get onto the track the same way right here. See, yeah, it's a little more obvious, so I made it a little bit more difficult. Reach it, reach it. There we go. That one should reach pretty well. Oh. A lot of work to be done with this one. This is kind of like the general layout of how I wanted it to function. Again, not 100% chance that works out. But yeah, that's hole 7. That's actually, so it's, first it shows the forest, and then it kind of shows like all the stumps and everything that are being chopped down and used for the wood. And you've got all the piles of wood, and then they run through the wood mill where they're chopped in half by a giant cleaver because, you know, that's how it works. And then you've got a couple split logs, and over here you have all the actual process manufactured logs. And then after that, you have the third and final level that utilizes an object, and this one's a little bit easy because it's like, oh, okay, we're just going across the bridge. There's just one simple spinning object. That's got to be it, right? If you actually hit it, boom! The bridge breaks away, and you fall into the river, and then that level wins right there because there's a secret goal. So obviously you're supposed to quote unquote fail this one. It's got a fake couple bridges from the side. That way it's like easier to see. So they're kind of like, their bridges squished to look 2D. And then you got a sound that plays and the bridge that gives away, and you fall down in here into a goal. You dip just enough beneath the water to fall into the hidden goal. And then after you play that one, the next level is right here, which takes place in the lake. So this little like kind of slant right here is supposed to give you a really good view of everything you're going to be playing around in inside of the lake, which I'm either going to do just the 3 holes or maybe 6 holes depending on how fun this part is. And then this right here is where you learn about how gravity works with water. So you can tell that it's a little bit, the gravity's a little bit nicer, but it's also, it controls a little bit differently. Just enough to where you need like a little tutorial right here. So this one's here to teach you like, oh, it goes a lot farther than you'd think. And then this one is actually where it tests kind of your skill with it. And you go a lot farther than you'd think. Alright, I made the goal big for a reason. Are you kidding? Okay. Alright, I might make it bigger. That's just not fair. First try. Well, yeah, that's hole 1. There's going to be a lot more that take place down here in the lake. And then eventually you'll pop out the other side, and the rest of the course takes place on you getting back home. But that's what I've got for now. A lot of the work this week honestly went into this making this stupid waterfall here. But I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. And now that I've got everything in the lake, I can actually decorate this entire area and make it look a lot better than it looks now. That's pretty much it. Thank you so much.